This video is about how to write a winning offer in a shifting real estate market. So I am a real estate broker here in Austin, Texas, and if you've been watching the news or reading the news, you know that across the United States we are experiencing one of the most rapidly changing, shifting real estate markets that we've ever experienced before. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, today the news came out that the inflation rate is 9.1%, which is higher than it's been for over 40 years. And that's affecting our market. Interest rates have gone up from being around 3% at the end of the year to being over 6% now. I've seen some buyers hitting mortgage rates as high as 7%. And that is causing our real estate market to slow down. It is a shift, and it is a rapid shift. But if you're a home buyer and you're out shopping for a home, how do you write a winning offer in this kind of market? And let me say hello to everybody. I'm Dan Forbes, broker at Forbes Realty in Leander, Texas, just north of Austin. Welcome to my channel. And if you want to know everything there is to know about living and working and playing in Cedar Park, Leander, Texas, and all the North Austin suburbs, you've come to the right place. And I appreciate the fact that, you're calling, you're sending texts, you're sending emails. I've yet to receive a carrier pigeon, but I'm expecting one any moment now, asking about what's going on in this market, and I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking of relocating or moving to North Austin, Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill, Pflugerville, Round Rock, Georgetown, you've come to the right place, and I want you to remember I've got your back. But let's talk about this topic about, how do you write an offer in a shifting real estate market? I mean, it doesn't seem that long ago that buyers in, let's say, a $500,000 price range would have to offer $50,000 to $100,000 above the asking price in order to win in a multiple bidding situation. Not only was that happening in resales, but it was also happening in new construction. So many of the builders here switched to a bidding war type of process where they would release 2 or 3 homes, and they would say submit your highest and best offer. And I spoke to one buyer who the home was an $800,000 home, and he offered over $1 million in order to win that home in that multiple offer type of situation. But here we are now in July of 2022. Our market has been shifting now for at least the last couple of months, and it is a downward shift. Now, what does that mean? Well, everything is relative. So we're still in a seller's market, but it's not a crazy seller's market like it was before. So let me explain by sharing a few numbers with you. So months of inventory is a number that is used to gauge how hot a real estate market is. And 3 months ago, we had only a 0.63 month supply of inventory. And what that means is if the homes kept selling at the rate that they were selling, it would take just a little over a half a month for all the homes on the market to be sold. So that was a very fast-paced, strong, very strong seller's market. Right now today, our months of inventory sits at 2.28 months of inventory. So we have gone up almost 4 times what it was just 3 months ago. But keep in mind that what is considered a normal or a balanced market between supply and demand being buyers, supply being listings available, is really an 8-month supply of inventory. So at a 2.28 supply, we are still in a strong seller's market, but you can see how rapidly that is shifting. Another thing that's happening is we're seeing the listing inventory go up. So 3 months ago, there were 2,318 listings, and right now there are 8,757 listings. That's almost a 400% increase in the number of listings on the market. So, 3 months ago, if I would take a buyer out to look at resale homes, we would have maybe 2 to look at here in Cedar Park or Leander, maybe 3. Right now, we could go out, we could look at 6, we could look at 10, we have a choice of homes. We don't have to just settle on whatever there is on the market. So that's another way that our market is shifting right now. Here's a telling number also. In the last 7 days, 18.8% of the active listings on the market have dropped their price. So a few months ago, sellers were raising their price, and now sellers are dropping their price because they have more competition and it's getting a little bit harder to sell a home. So if you're working with a real estate broker like myself and you are wanting to write an offer today on a home here in, let's say, Cedar Park, Texas, one of the things that a broker like myself can help you with is understanding what is the list to sale price ratio, and that is how closely are homes selling right now to the list price. And for the last couple of years, they've been selling significantly above the asking price, and we know that. So for example, 3 months ago, the 87 homes that sold in the month of April sold for 109% of the asking price. But right now, the homes that have sold most recently here in Cedar Park have sold for 102% of the asking price. So that is a 7% difference in the list to sale price ratio. And if you're not working with a knowledgeable broker, you may actually offer too much on a home right now. Yeah, you might get the home, but you may have paid way too much for that home. So you want to be sure you're working with someone like myself who not only is boots on the ground for you and working with you, but is also knowledgeable about sale prices and what's happening in the market right now. But there's other things besides just the price when you are writing an offer. So a few months ago, when we were in a super hot seller's market, it was almost impossible to have the winning offer unless you waived the appraisal. And that is, if the home underappraised, you were willing and able to bring that extra money to closing. And I saw buyers having to bring tens of thousands of dollars to closing because they had waived the appraisal in order to win in a bidding war. Also, earnest money deposits were a lot higher then than they are now. In a more normal market, our earnest money deposit is about 1% of the sale price. So a $500,000 home would be a $5,000 earnest money deposit. And I was seeing, $10,000 or $20,000 as earnest money deposits as little as 3 or 4 months ago. Also, I was seeing buyers that were willing to pay for the survey, willing to pay the owner's title insurance policy, not asking for a home warranty, and just a lot of things that buyers were doing then to win that we're not having to do right now. So for example, many buyers were waiving the option period, which is a period of time that the buyer could terminate the contract. Many buyers were just waiving that altogether and making a high option fee payment, but waiving the ability to terminate the offer if they wanted to. So now we're getting back to more like 2019 levels, where an option fee right now on a $500,000 home might be $500. The earnest money might be $5,000. We might be asking for 5 to 7 days of an option period in order to have home inspections done and then to negotiate perhaps any repairs that have to be made. So the market is shifting right now, and as a broker, I've been doing this for about 20 years. So, I've been through so many markets. I know how to counsel and guide my buyers and also my sellers in a changing market like this. So it makes a difference to work with a knowledgeable broker. There's just so much that I really don't have time to explain to you. But if we were working one-on-one, you'd be very interested, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have. So if you have some questions, make a comment, post your question there, and I'll be happy to respond, and I'll be happy to answer. So we've been talking about how to write a winning offer in a shifting real estate market. And let me say, hey, if you like the content on my channel, do me the biggest favor. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you're notified when a new weekly video goes up, and then also smash that thumbs up button. It helps other people find the channel. Right now you're beginning to see some other videos from my channel. If you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, playing in Cedar Park and Leander, Texas, look at some of the videos on my channel, and always remember, I've got your back. And before you leave, you got to do something. Look down in the comment section below or in the description section below and call me, text me, email, or heck, I don't care, send me a carrier pigeon.